A massive GameFreak data leak in late 2024 gave us an unprecedented look into Pokemon's development process. One of the most fascinating finds, early character sheets for many characters, revealing their original backstories, personalities, and designs. Since the initial leak, I've wanted to go through and highlight all this never-before-seen cut character lore, and today I'll be continuing my video series where we look at the development versions of various Pokemon characters and how they changed and evolved up to the final release. Today we're taking a look at Lenora, Unova's normal-type gym leader and director of the Nacrene City Museum. She's very passionate about academia, with a particular focus on Pokemon bones and fossils, and she loves to share her knowledge with anyone willing to listen. Aside from being a walking encyclopedia of Pokemon history and archaeology, she's also very motherly and nice, seen by how she helps new trainers get a footing in the world, and also how she's not afraid to stand up to those who threaten people she cares for, such as when she confronts the villainous Team Plasma. She might not be the most intricate of all Pokemon characters, but she's far from simple. Like most of the other gym leaders, she has major moments throughout Black and White's story, but was this always planned to be the case? Or did the developers have a different vision in mind for Lenora initially? Well, let's take a look at the leaked character sheet and find out. One quick note before we jump into the cut lore. The TeraLeak contains 4 drafts of each character's character sheet, documenting changes throughout development. While revisions after the first draft are pretty minimal, we'll still examine each one to see how the characters evolved. It's also important to remember that the final drafts of each character sheet found in the TeraLeak don't always match the final versions of the characters seen in the official games. Lenora's initial character concept paints her as a 32-year-old researcher at the Nacrene City Natural History Museum, specializing in Pokemon paleontology. She runs a normal-type gym in the museum part-time, and this first draft establishes her as a strong, nurturing figure. A married mother and the eldest daughter of a large family, including her late father, mother, 3 younger brothers, and 2 younger sisters. Growing up, she would always take care of her family with a cheerful but firm attitude, and her skill in Pokemon battles partially comes from protecting her siblings from rogue Pokemon trainers. Her passion for Pokemon bones and archaeology was ignited by her father, who worked as a miner for clay. When she was little, he'd bring home fossils as gifts, sparking Lenora's imagination with stories and drawings of their possible original forms. These fossils became cherished toys, and her father's playful saying of, "If this could turn into gold, we'd be rich," became a treasured memory of hers. This early fascination of fossils fueled her exceptional fieldwork later in life, earning her numerous offers from prestigious research institutes and companies all across Unova. Lenora, however, chose to stay in Nacrene, prioritizing her family and joining the local museum. Her deep understanding of Pokemon anatomy, honed through her extensive research, is also said to contribute to her formidable battle skills. Visually, her design is described as pretty close to what we see in the final game, with the primary difference being that she originally wore glasses and a lab coat, emphasizing her academic focus. We also get a peek at the real-world inspirations for her design, which were the actress Pam Grier and the singer Beyoncé. The second draft builds upon the first with some slight changes. Lenora is aged up to 35, and it clarifies that her situation growing up was relatively stable, but after her father died, things became gradually worse, especially financially. This is when she stepped up to help her mother raise her younger siblings, and where a lot of her nurturing and caretaking side comes from. One of the other key changes in this draft is that Lenora is no longer written as married and having a kid. Instead, due to unresolved feelings about her father's death affecting her relationships with others, she's chosen to remain single. Rather than pursue marriage, she's opted to cherish her time with siblings and immediate family instead. The third and fourth drafts are identical. They revert the change of Lenora having complicated father issues, and she's married again, now with 3 daughters. In fact, they build upon that idea, and the biggest change in this draft is that her gym in the museum is run exclusively by members of her immediate and extended family. There's also a new stated inspiration added to her overall character, which is Jaeon's mother from the Doraemon manga. Both of these new additions in this draft highlight just how much family means to Lenora, and it emphasizes her personality as a very down-to-earth and motherly figure. This has been a quick look at the cut lore for Lenora, or Lornora if you will. It's not a complete overhaul like some of the other Unova gym leaders' Cut Lore, but it adds some neat layers to her character. You get a better sense of her history and how it ties into the broader Unova gym leaders, while still keeping her true to her final version. A kind, protective soul with a love for Pokemon fossils. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.